one, we have no male leadership. Number two, we have no black male accountability. Number three, we have no standard of manhood in the black community, and there's no mechanism of accountability towards men. I asked you, ZaZa, to point out the lie that I told, and you said you would, and you didn't. You didn't point out the lie that I told. That's number one. Number two, there is a difference between generalizing and making absolutes. Okay, generalization does not mean all. I think that's what people fail to realize. There is also a difference between systemic power and individual power, individual action and collective action, and that's what people. The thing of it is you guys are paying more attention to the way that I'm saying something versus what I'm actually saying. And I can tell that because none of you have actually addressed what I've actually said, except to attach emotional adjectives to it. You said that I'm saying it for the sake of being right. It's not about me being right. We're sitting in a system of white supremacy that we've been in for hundreds of years. Whether you acknowledge that or not is not going to change it. So I said, what are black men doing collectively to break down the system of white supremacy?
And when we start cutting our men for the sake of being right, for the sake of trying to prove a point, it's very dangerous, because then are we trying to be right, or are we trying to edify our people? Are we trying to speak life into our men, or are we trying to emotionally and mentally castrate them? It's easy to do that. What's difficult is to see a brother who has potential and has the potential to be powerful and speak life into him. That is our responsibility as women. This is why I say I hold women more accountable, because guess what? We give birth to both. Men come from our wombs. In the same way that we physically give them life, we mentally give them life with what we speak from our mouths and what comes from our minds. So it is very important for us to not use language like black men have no power. You can't tell me Boyce Watkins doesn't have power. I've seen it with my own two eyes.
Boyce's individual business isn't breaking down systemic white supremacy. It's not. And the thing of it is you can't tell me that I'm disrespecting Boyce, because I've never disrespected Boyce or demeaned what he's done. I've congratulated him for what he's done. However, acknowledging the benefit of what he's doing isn't breaking down the system of white supremacy. This isn't about me just wanting to be right. Whatever happens to black men happens to me as a black woman. But I'm not going to, because I noticed that fact, does not mean that I'm going to sit here and overlook the fact that, number one, we have no male leadership. Number two, we have no black male accountability. Number three, we have no standard of manhood in the black community, and there's no mechanism of accountability towards men. Men will sit here and tell black women to pick better, but they will not tell black men to be better. Those are just facts. Again, until someone point out the lie that I'm telling, you can forget that's fine. Haven't taken issue with the way that I'm saying it. You can do that. But what I'm saying is correct. The bottom line is we are subjugated to this system, but there's a fine line between coddling and speaking life. The reality of it is it doesn't matter how much life we speak into our men. If they don't want to get up and take the lead, where are we at? Here, and two of them just sit up here and told you they have no power to do anything. So it's like, then when I say, okay, you have no power, and I'm not saying that they don't have I'm not saying they don't have individual power. I'm saying they don't have societal power. And if they do have societal power, then that means they want us to be in the system of white supremacy, because they're not using that societal power to get us out of it. So if they have the societal power, where are they using it at? Where are they using it at? And then list me what they're doing that is going to break down the system of white supremacy. If black women could do it, I believe we would be doing it. The majority of black men are doing absolutely nothing to break down the system of white supremacy. And in order to deal with a problem, you have to go to the origins of a problem. White supremacy isn't coddling us. White supremacy isn't filtering its words when it gets on media platforms and throw out propaganda. They're not doing that. Sonnetter haven't named one thing, and Garfield hasn't named one thing.